Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a little tip as far as teaching the kip and then also teaching the next progression after they've been doing their knees up for a while, to teach them how to really curl up and be able to eventually get their toes to the bar. So I had an athlete this morning that was struggling with her rhythm and timing on the kip. So what we did was we worked on putting a slight pause in this part of her knees up and making sure that she wasn't pausing back here. So if they pause with their feet behind them, that is a no-go. They're gonna start swinging, just not a good thing. So you wanna make sure that when they are kipping, that the knees come up. If they have to put a slight pause, fine. And then they punch back quickly, like they're tapping a button back there, and they come right back up to it, okay? Don't let them hang out back there. If they don't have a lot of push down, it's okay. They can still get good rhythm as long as they're moving their legs correctly. And then eventually over time, you can just tell them, now as the knees come up, we're gonna press down and kind of curl into this ball shape, and then we're gonna straighten back out again, okay? Because if you just tell them push down the bar, which I've told a lot of my athletes before, a lot of times they wanna press down at the wrong time, and sometimes it's when their feet are behind them and it just like is out of control. So what I'm talking about as far as the quick feet behind and not being able to leave your feet back there. So I'm here, I'm nice and still in my start position. All I want to do is bring their knees up, punch their feet back. So I'm not asking them to press down the bar. I'm just asking them to be really quick, bring knees back up. They have to even pause, okay? And then over time, you can teach them to press down as they roll up. The next thing we're gonna work on, if they've been doing that and they're hanging there for a while, we want to start working on just the next curl up part. So this is going to require a bigger push down. So hopefully over time they've gotten stronger and they have some more lat strength. And so the kip's going to have to be bigger, but we also want, when they bring their knees up, for their torso to slightly tilt back, and they can even look towards the ceiling, kind of helps. And we're going to try and make contact with anywhere on our arm really. So it's going to be a bigger kip. Hit. Okay, so again, that's your middle progression between the toes to bar and just the hanging knee raises. So if you've been having athletes hang there forever, have them start to curl up. If they can't do that quite yet, you can take them to the rings and have them work on making contact on the rings. Because the rings move, it's going to be a little bit easier. So that could be an in-between step. And then finally, once we've done that, all you have to teach is the kick out, and it's really quick. So they may have to do like one kick out and then one knees to elbows until they can get strong enough to just do their toes to bar in a row. Okay, so that was one toes to bar, one knees to elbow, and that's helping them build strength of their core. Lastly, if you have some athletes that aren't ready to hang from the rings yet and do the knees to elbows, you can practice strict knees to elbows with the rings here. So the higher you put these up for them, the harder it's going to be. So if you have more of a beginner athlete, you might start lower, but the goal is to pull down on the rings so they're engaging their lats, and then to pull their knees up without jumping, okay? So you don't want to see them jump too much. Might be a little bit, but the initial engagement is to pull down. So like they're doing a pull up, their elbow never straightens. It's always at a 90-degree angle. So we're going to pull up and roll up, okay? So we're working grip strength, we're working lat strength, and we're also working the core. So again, in order to get toes to bar, you've got to be strong, you've got to build muscles, and they got to be in the right places. So using these progressions to get to a toes to bar is going to be the best way to do it. Sometimes we just work on the kip motion, sometimes we work on strength, sometimes we toggle back and forth. So depending on your athlete, if you see that they're kipping really well, but they don't have much strength, then send them to the rings and have them do the strict ring, okay? If they have good strength, they come in strong, but they have no rhythm, have them work on the kip, all right? So that's your call as a coach, being able to know and find the deficits in your athletes and be like, okay, this person needs this today. Not every athlete's gonna need the same thing. That's why we have recommended scales for you guys, but if you feel like they have a hole in a certain area, just make sure that whatever you're scaling for them is using the same muscle groups, and it's actually gonna help them get better for that movement that we're trying to work on that day. That's it, have fun.